Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. This video is going to be talking about the rematch between Nathan Cleverly versus Tony Bellew. Now, this fight is a highly anticipated rematch between two guys who generally do not like each other at all. And I'm very excited actually for this fight because I really enjoyed their first matchup. If you go back and watch that fight, it was a highly entertaining fight. It came down to the wire. Nathan Cleverly did enough to pull it out, but nonetheless, highly entertaining fight, and the animosity between these two is really something. If you haven't seen the sit down with Johnny Nelson with both of these fighters, you definitely got to check that out. I'm going to post that underneath. And yeah, it's really something to watch. And this is actually a very good card as well. Some good fighters on this card. Now, when I'm moving on to the rematch between these two guys, let me first talk about Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly is a fighter who likes to use his jab a lot. He's got some speed, athleticism. He's well conditioned. He does a lot of things good, actually. He's got some good movement as well. He can actually box, Cleverly can. Now, when I talk about Tony Bellew has really looked pretty good since he's moved up to cruiserweight, better than when he was at light heavyweight, in my opinion. He's a guy who's got some power, good left hook as well, some good check hooks, and this is a guy who is extremely motivated for this fight with his dislike for Cleverly. It's very easy to see that and to tell what's going on there. Now, when I talk about some advantages in this fight, I actually think that Nathan Cleverly is a better boxer of the two. I think Cleverly has better movement, he's more athletic, and he actually brings more skills to the ring, in my opinion, than Bellew does. Bellew, on the other hand, for this fight, has the advantage in power. Also, cruiserweight, in my opinion, is a better weight for him than Cleverly. But this fight is very hard to tell who's going to win. I could see Cleverly outboxing Bellew for a lot of parts of the fight. And then I could see Tony Bellew stopping Cleverly. So it's very hard to call. And my reasons for picking Tony Bellew for this fight, guys, is because I think that Bellew, it was a close fight the first time. Bellew is better at cruiserweight. I also think that he's going to look to time Nathan Cleverly's jab and land a big hook on him. I think he's capable of doing that because Cleverly uses his jab a lot. Also, I think that Cleverly depends too much on his chin. If Cleverly was a guy who boxes smart all the time and uses movement and some of the skills he has, I definitely would be picking him for this fight. But I see him getting into a brawl at some point in the fight, and that's where I think Cleverly gets dropped. And that's why I'm picking him in this fight. I'm going to pick Tony Bellew. Also, he's in Liverpool, so the judges may be a factor in this fight. He's a hometown fighter. Those are just my reasoning, but still a very hard pick. I'm not 100% confident in this pick by any stretch of the imagination. Cleverly's got a lot on the line here to prove after his fight with Sergey Kovalev. And yeah, he really wants to shut up Tony Bellew as well. So very hard fight to pick, but I am going to pick Tony Bellew to actually win by a late round stoppage, in my opinion. Going to be a highly competitive fight, though, I think. And if it goes to decision, it's going to come down to the wire. I think it'll be a very close fight. But if it does go to decision, I'm going to give the edge to Cleverly in that regard. But overall, picking Tony Bellew for this fight. Now, before I let you guys go, I have to talk about my boy Anthony Joshua, one of my favorite fighters. This is a guy who has a decorated amateur background. He was a fighter in the Olympics. He's a guy who has an excellent jab. I really like his right hand. He's extremely focused and composed when you watch him fight. Very good attitude, a guy who seems to be learning as he keeps progressing throughout his career. And he's also had some sparring with Klitschko, valuable experience. So I see a lot of talent in Anthony Joshua, one of my favorite guys to watch. And I really think he's going to bring some life into the heavyweight division. And sooner or later, he's going to be known to a lot of people in North America, in my opinion. Once he starts fighting some better competition. But at this point of his career, I like the way they're moving him through, and they're not putting him against too many really good fighters. They're just giving him some stepping stones, and that's the way to build the fighter, in my opinion, especially a guy who doesn't have a lot of pro fights. So Anthony Joshua is fighting Michael Spot, who is a veteran. He's basically brought in for Anthony Joshua to crush, which is going to happen, I believe, In the early rounds of this fight, look for Anthony Joshua to stop him. Spot is a veteran, like I was saying, but he doesn't have enough skills, enough big victories in his career for me to pick him against Anthony Joshua. So I look for an early stoppage in that fight. Give me your favorite fight, though, from this card, guys. Lots of great fights on this card. Some big stars out of the UK. I'm very excited to watch this fight and then also move on later on the night to watch Manny Pacquiao. So this is going to be a great night of boxing overall. And yeah, you don't want to miss this night. And thank you very much, guys, for tuning in to my video. Appreciate everybody watching. Please subscribe if you already haven't. And also give me your pick for Cleverly and Bellew. Very competitive fight. I want to hear what you guys think about both fighters and why you're picking either to win the fight. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it once again.